David, hi. It's so good to see you. What a beautiful day to be outside.
David, I was just thinking the same thing. It is an absolutely perfect day. I am so glad we decided to meet at the park. After that full week of rain we had, I was starting to forget what the sun looked like.
I know exactly what you mean. The sky is so blue, and there isn't a single cloud in sight. It feels so good to feel the warm sun on my face. It's not too hot either, just pleasantly warm.
Yes, and there's a lovely, gentle breeze, too. It's just enough to keep it from feeling stuffy. This is the kind of weather that makes everyone feel happy and cheerful, don't you think?
Definitely. Look around. Everyone is smiling. This weather is good for the soul. I was getting so tired of being stuck indoors with that miserable gray weather. This feels like a gift.
It really does. I feel like my energy levels have doubled just from being outside in this beautiful sunshine. We should really make the most of it.
This kind of weather is exactly why I love this time of year. Early autumn is my favorite season. You get these beautiful, clear, sunny days, but it's not overwhelmingly hot like it can be in the middle of summer.
I agree. Autumn is wonderful. I love the cool, crisp air in the mornings and the beautiful colors of the leaves as they start to change. It's so picturesque. What's your favorite season overall?
That's a tough question. I love the mildness of autumn, but I think I have to choose summer as my absolute favorite. I just love the long days. The sun doesn't set until late in the evening, so you feel like you have so much more time to do things after work.
That's true. Summer evenings are special. What about your least favorite season? For me, it's easy. I do not like the middle of winter.
I'm with you on that one. Winter is my least favorite too. It's not the cold that bothers me so much, it's the darkness. The days are so short, and it gets dark so early in the afternoon. It can be a bit depressing sometimes.
I feel the same way. I don't mind a little bit of snow. It can be very beautiful. But the constant gray skies and the short days can be very draining. I feel like I have much less energy in the winter.
Speaking of snow, do you remember that huge snowstorm we had a few years ago? I think it was in January. That was some extreme weather.
Oh, I remember that very well. It was a blizzard, wasn't it? The snow fell so heavily for 2 days straight. I have never seen so much snow in my life. The whole city just completely shut down.
It did. I remember looking out my window, and you couldn't see across the street. And it was so quiet. The thick snow absorbed all the sound, so there was no noise from traffic. It was actually very peaceful. We were snowed in for 3 days.
We were too. It was fun for the first day, but by the third day, I was starting to get a little bored of being stuck at home. What about extreme heat? Have you ever experienced a serious heat wave?
Yes, last summer we had that week where the temperatures were incredibly high. I found that much more uncomfortable than the snow. It wasn't just hot, it was the humidity that was the worst part.
I agree completely. When the air is humid, it feels so heavy and sticky. You feel like you can't breathe properly. I remember I had no energy at all during that heat wave. All I wanted to do was sit in front of a fan. My air conditioner was working overtime.
Well, luckily, Today is neither a blizzard nor a heat wave. It's just perfect. I really hope this lovely weather lasts for a while. Do you know what the weather forecast says for the rest of the week?
That's a good question. I actually checked the forecast on my weather app this morning before I left the house. I always like to know what to expect.
Me too. So, what's the verdict? Are we going to have more beautiful days like this one?
According to the prediction, today and tomorrow are supposed to be clear and sunny, but it looks like a change is coming. The forecast said that clouds will start to move in on Friday morning.
Oh no, not more rain, I hope. What about the weekend?
For the weekend, there is a 60% chance of rain on Saturday. Sunday is looking a little better, with only a small chance of a shower in the morning, and then it might clear up in the afternoon.
A 60% chance. That's quite high. I never know how much to trust the weather forecast. Sometimes they predict a huge storm and then nothing happens. And other times they say it will be sunny and it rains all day. It's not always very accurate.
That's true. It's not a perfect science, but it's useful for getting a general idea. For Saturday, the forecast was quite specific about the kind of rain to expect.
Really? What did it say? Is it supposed to be a big storm or just a little bit of rain?
It said the day will start with some light showers in the morning. A light shower is just a short period of light rain. It's the kind of rain where you might not even need an umbrella if you don't mind getting a little wet.
Okay, I can handle light showers. What else?
Then around lunchtime, it's supposed to change to drizzle. Drizzle is that very fine, misty rain. It's very light, but it can go on for a long time and make everything feel damp.
I know exactly the kind of rain you mean. So, no heavy rain predicted?
Well, the forecast did say there is a possibility of a heavy downpour in the late afternoon. A downpour is when the rain comes down very, very hard and fast. It's a lot of rain in a short amount of time. The forecast also mentioned a chance of a thunderstorm.
A thunderstorm. That's more exciting than just rain. I always find thunderstorms quite dramatic. I love watching them from my window.
Me too. I love the sound of the rain hitting the roof and the big rumbles of thunder. It's very cozy when you are safe and warm inside. Were you ever scared of thunderstorms as a child?
I was terrified. I used to hide under my bed. The loud, sudden clap of thunder right after a flash of lightning always made me jump. Now I find it fascinating.
A loud clap of thunder is still a bit scary if the storm is right over your house. But the distant rumble of thunder is quite a relaxing sound, I think.
It is. Did you ever do that trick where you count the seconds between the flash of lightning and the sound of thunder to see how far away the storm is?
Yes, my dad taught me that. You see the flash of lightning, and you start counting. 1, 2, 3, and then when you hear the thunder, you stop. For every 5 seconds you count, the storm is about 1 mile away. It's a fun little piece of science.
It is. It's amazing how much there is to talk about when it comes to weather. It's not just about whether it is hot or cold. It also has a big effect
on how we feel.
It really does. I definitely feel my mood change with the weather. On a sunny day like today, I feel optimistic, happy, and full of energy. I want to be outside and do things.
Me too. A week of cloudy, gray skies can make me feel a little bit down and unmotivated. I think it's a very common thing. Some people are very sensitive to the lack of sunlight in the winter.
Yes, I've heard about that. It's called seasonal affective disorder. It's a real condition where the changing seasons can have a big impact on a person's mood.
What about rainy days? Do they make you feel sad?
Not always. If it rains for a whole week, then yes, I start to feel a bit gloomy. But I honestly don't mind a single rainy day. I find it quite cozy. It feels like the perfect excuse to stay at home, read a book, drink hot chocolate, and not feel guilty about being unproductive.
I can understand that. A cozy rainy Sunday can be very nice. But the rain forecast for this Saturday might be a problem for me. It completely changes my plans.
Oh no. Why? Did you have something special planned for Saturday?
I was planning to have a barbecue in my garden for a few friends. It's one of the last chances to do it before the weather gets too cold. But a barbecue is not much fun in a downpour.
No, it certainly is not. That is a perfect example of how the weather really dictates our activities. On a sunny weekend, we can plan things like picnics, hiking, going to the beach, or gardening.
Exactly. But if the forecast says rain, all of those plans are canceled. Then you have to start thinking of indoor activities instead.
Right. A rainy day is a good day to go to the movies, visit a museum or an art gallery, or maybe just stay home and cook a nice meal. It forces you to be creative with your plans. You always need a backup plan, just in case the weather changes.
That is very true. And the weather does seem to be changing more and more these days. It feels much more unpredictable than when I was a child.
I have thought the same thing. The weather patterns seem to be a bit strange. We have had some very unusual weather in the last few years. I remember it was surprisingly warm one day last December. It felt like a spring day, not the middle of winter.
Yes, and the summers seem to be getting hotter every year. We are seeing more of those extreme heat waves that we talked about earlier. And the storms seem to be getting stronger, with more heavy rain.
I agree. Scientists say that this is because of climate change. The planet is getting warmer, and that is affecting our weather in many ways. It's a very serious issue.
It is. It makes you realize how much we depend on stable, predictable weather for so many things, like farming and agriculture. It's not just about whether we need to carry an umbrella or not.
That's a very good point. Our small talk about the weather is actually connected to some of the biggest issues in the world.
It is. Well, speaking of the weather changing, do you feel that? The wind is starting to pick up a little bit, and the sun just went behind a cloud.
You're right. It suddenly feels much cooler than it did 10 minutes ago. I am starting to feel a little bit chilly now. I should have brought a cardigan with me.
This is a perfect example of why you should always be prepared for the weather to change, especially at this time of year. One minute it's warm and sunny, and the next, it's cool and windy.
It's why layering your clothes is such a good idea. You can wear a t-shirt, a sweater, and a light jacket, and then you can add or remove layers as the temperature changes throughout the day.
That is the smartest way to dress. Since it's getting a bit cooler, what do you say we walk over to that little cafe down the street and get a hot coffee to warm up?
That sounds like a wonderful idea. And while we are there, we can check the weather forecast for Saturday again. Maybe the prediction will change and you can still have your barbecue. We can hope.